EA added over 800 new plays and tons of different new formations into all 32 NFL team playbooks. And so today I'm breaking down the top 5 best playbooks after the latest title update. And so the first playbook I want to talk to you guys about is the Kansas City Chiefs offensive playbook. There's tons of things that already made this playbook good, but the first thing to focus on is the brand new formation, gun, bunch, spread, nasty. This is another new bunch formation. People love their bunch formations, and it's chock full of unique plays and unique routes. And so the play that I really like is shock halfback wheel. And as always with bunch, I prefer to have my bunch on the wide side of the field. And what I love about this play is that we have man beaters on both sides of the field. We have press man beaters on both sides of the field with the slot fade and the running back wheel. And so when you are going against press man coverage, right there, we actually got a pretty strange animation on the side of the slot fade. But even though he released inside for some reason, we still have the running back on the wheel route. That's why we have 2 press man beaters, is because we can attack it on both sides of the field. And maybe we'll actually get a good rep from the slot fade this time. And yeah, that's not what I'm used to seeing, but you know what? We'll take it. That is the play, shock halfback wheel, but there are so many great plays in gun bunch spread nasty. I did a whole mini scheme on the gun bunch spread nasty formation in the film room section of playbookprofessor.gg because it's just such a great formation, and I think you're going to be seeing it a lot more in your online games in the upcoming weeks and months. Now, the next great formation in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook is gun Y-off trips nasty. If you've been around Madden so far this year, you know that gun Y-off trips nasty is extremely popular. It's a 4x1 set, which means it turns off match coverage, but also this play right here, RPO read Y flat, is the best RPO in the entire game. You pretty much don't have to think. If your opponent doesn't have a good plan to stop this, you just throw it out to your tight end in the flat and you get a ton of free yards on the outside. It truly is a nightmare of an RPO to go up against. And then of course people will build other route combos out of this formation as well. They'll make use of this really good zig route on the play dagger whip. They'll make use of the shallow post on the play PA double post. And you just have really good routes all over the field. Now, the third thing that makes the Kansas City Chiefs playbook so great is something that's been in the game all year, and it is these speed options. And people haven't been using speed options as much lately, but you've got them in pistol bunch tight end. You got it here in trio halfback weak. And when you go against someone who knows how to properly use these speed options, it is an absolute nightmare to go up against. And hopefully everyone knows that all you do is press LB or L1 to pitch the ball. Make sure you hold down LB to get a power pitch. If you tap it, it's just a light pitch. If you hold it down, it is a much faster pitch. And these plays can get really glitchy, guys. And you can, of course, flip them in either direction. Now in shotgun, when you flip it, the spacing is going to be kind of weird. So it's like, not really sure that you'd want to flip it in the case of a shotgun formation. Like it can still work, but of course it's a little funky. So if you're in pistol, you can flip it in either direction. If you're in shotgun, you'll mainly want to run it in the direction it's designed to go to. But these speed options are so powerful. You're only really going to find them in the Chiefs playbook, the Ravens playbook, and maybe just like 1 or 2 other playbooks in the game. So these speed options are very uncommon. And so when you combine these really powerful shotgun formations with these really fun, speed options and short yardage plays, and of course you still got your bunch Y flex, your bunch strong nasty. If you're a fan of bunch, you have 4 different versions of bunch now that you can run in the Chiefs playbook. And then of course, like I said, you've got the Y-off trips nasty with the best RPO in the game. You got speed options. And so because of all those things combined, the Kansas City Chiefs playbook is absolutely a top 5 playbook in the game right now. Now at number 4 on our list, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Playbook. And one of the best additions to this playbook, which I already loved, is the gun bunch tight end formation, which has the play whips. Not every version of gun bunch tight end has this play whips, but this play whips is one of the best plays in the entire game. And that's because, as hopefully you guys saw already on the play art and the play call screen, we have 2 zig routes on both sides of the field. There's all kinds of different adjustments that you can do if you want, but just having 2 zig routes, just being able to torch man coverage in both directions at the same time, this play is an absolute nightmare to go up against. If you've ever gone against this in game, you go and user 1 and the other is open. You try and use zone drops for one. They always find a way to get somebody open. And so The fact that another playbook got the play whips instantly makes this playbook worth looking at. And for reference, the Vikings and Seahawks playbooks, which are both very, very similar, are the other playbooks that have the play whips as well. We've got PA boot over, we've got read option, we've got all these awesome cheat motions that were also in the Vikings version of gun bunch tight end. I mean, this cheat halfback seam is really, really, really powerful. This was a play that I think did a TikTok on to start the year, because just these cheat motions are just so insanely good, especially against cover 2. I mean, if your opponent runs cover 2, it's either a ton of yards or even a touchdown. And then, of course, they've got the RPO, which out bunch tight end is really annoying to have to deal with. They also have the plays mesh and inside cross, both of which come with double drags built in. So if you want a quick snap double drags, you got both of those. And then, of course, the PA boot over, which one of the staples of years past, not as popular this year, but it's still just one of the best crossers in the game. And so having gun bunch tight end, especially a version with those cheat motions and the play whips, makes this gun bunch tight end extremely powerful. Now, a formation that gets overlooked is one of my favorites of this whole year, the play gun trips X nasty. And you guys may have seen our Bucs offense ebook, and that ebook covered the gun trips X nasty formation and the pistol trips formation. And gun trips X nasty is one of the most slept on formations in the entire game. This is the base setup out of it. And of course, again, when we have a slot fade, it just means we have one play touchdowns against cover 2 shells. This slot fade does an amazing job against press man coverage. Any coverage that your opponent wants to throw at you, if they're in man coverage, then we of course have this wheel route once again. The running back wheel routes are just so good in this game. And of course, we got a little bit bumped there, but we still separated late. And just, you got stuff all over the field, and especially you've got one of my favorite underrated routes in the game on this play. You may not have noticed, but on the outside receiver, our B receiver here, it's a delayed slant. And so he's going to act like a smoke screen, and then late he's going to run on a slant over the middle. One of the coolest routes in the game. I had never seen it before I got in Gun Trips X Nasty. And so I absolutely love Gun Trips X Nasty. We have a whole ebook on it. I was running this for about a month and a half in all my money games and everything. And I still love this scheme. I might go back to it at some point. And so having Gun Trips X Nasty along with Pistol Trips, and when you have Pistol Trips, you've got the RPO. People love Trips RPOs. You got Halfback Zone Weak. And guys, Halfback Zone Weak out of any pistol formation, they get some of the best handoff animations in the entire game. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is the handoff animation that you guys want to look for. If it is a handoff animation that looks like this, just the blocking is going to be so insanely good. But Halfback Zone Weak is just such a good play. And of course, just all the things you can build out of Pistol Trips as well. And then you can't forget single back wing close, the best under center run play in the game, wide zone. This is like my go-to play if I'm ever down near the goal line. Just the blocking that we usually get right here on wide zone is just simply out of control. And so those four formations, Gun Bunch Tight End, Gun Trips X Nasty, Pistol Trips, and single back wing close, those alone make it a great scheme. And of course, you've got your Gun Bunch Strong Nasties. You've got the motion double pass. If you guys haven't messed around with the motion double pass, that is really glitchy. And then of course, one of my personal favorites, Gun Double Stack as well. So there's just so many fun things to do in the Tampa Bay Bucs playbook, which is why it is number 4 on this list. Now coming in at number 3, we have the Minnesota Vikings playbook. And first off, we have to talk about the Gun Bunch Spread Nasty formation once again. We saw it in the Chiefs playbook, and this version has a lot of the same plays. However, there are 3 unique plays that are only in the Vikings playbook. Those are Orbit Bunch Salem, Orbit Smash Whip, and Orbit Shallow Cross. And I especially love Orbit Smash Whip because if you look at our outside bunch receiver, we have a Bang 8 route that is very similar to the route that you'll see in the play Double Post in Gun Bunch Offset. And so a play that I put on, where did I put this play? Was it on TikTok? Where was it? Maybe it was just on Twitter's where I put this. I just did this setup right here where we're just doing a hitch route on our inside bunch receiver, a streak on our tight end who's at our middle bunch receiver spot, And we're basically just building a cover 3 bomb, just having the streak and then the post come underneath it. And you just have to pass lead that ball outside. And that's a nice little one play touchdown versus cover 3, as long as you throw it early enough. Obviously that deep third was back there, but as long as you throw it in the early window, you can have a nice cover 3 bomb. Of course, against man coverage, we have a zig. Everyone loves their zigs. We're just going to see zigs nonstop through this whole video because zigs are just so good. And so, of course, just throw your zig against man coverage out there. Easy yards on the outside. And so gun bunch spread nasty, any formation or any playbook that has gun bunch spread nasty is going to be a top playbook in the game right now. Now, another formation we have to talk about that we talked about just now in the Bucs playbook, gun bunch tight end. Sure enough, they've got all the cheat motions. They've got triple out, which is a nice, huge bomb. They have the RPO. So this is honestly probably the best bunch tight end in the entire game because it has the RPO, it has the cheat motions, it has PA boot over, and of course, it has whips. It has the double zigs, just like we saw in the Bucs version of bunch tight end. And so between the gun bunch spread nasty and the best version in the game of gun bunch tight end, it's really tough to say that the Vikings playbook isn't one of the best playbooks in the game, especially when you got this cheat motion play as well, where you've got a zig, a Texas route, 2 corner routes. I mean, these plays are just so good. It's kind of insane. I'm sitting here right now just like, dang, I need to make a Vikings gun bunch tight end ebook because this gun bunch tight end is just stacked full of plays that are going to be so easy for moving the ball down the field. Other things, of course, gun bunch open offset. I like to mix in the RPO read bubble. That really wide alignment tends to throw people off. This might not be as good as it was in past years, but I still love the really wide alignment out there. And of course, it's still just like a normal read option as well. And so make sure you keep the ball if that read key comes in. But I love to mix in anytime there's a gun bunch open tight end or gun bunch open offset. I like to mix those in. And then, of course, we have a really awesome tight Y off week. I mentioned zig routes. So many zig routes in gun tight Y off week. We've got a solo receiver zig route on the play slot cross. We've got another zig route on pivot dig. Wide receiver under on the other side has a tight end zig. And then another one on smash Y pivot. It's just zigs and inverted zigs everywhere you look. And so, I mean, a really simple rule of thumb this year, guys, is when in doubt, zig it out. If you're having any trouble getting someone open, just get a zig on the field, and you're going to be in a better spot than not having the zig on the field if you're struggling. Obviously, there's plenty of ways to get people open, but just having those zigs are so incredibly powerful. And then, of course, for under center, when we want to run the ball down near the goal line, we once again have our wide zone and single back wing close. I also love, this is a new one added to the Vikings playbook. They did not have single back wing flex close before, but they just got the jet sweep, or sorry, the halfback stretch. The jet sweep, just a tidbit of information, guys. You do not want to run this jet sweep because that read key is not going to get blocked. And so don't, see the guy with the R above his head, he's not going to get blocked. So you really kind of want to avoid these because that guy's just going to tackle you. So don't use the jet sweeps, but do use the halfback stretches in these under center formations, especially the wide zone and single back wing close. So you combine that with these really awesome shotgun formations, the gun tight Y off week, the new gun bunch spread nasty, and the best gun bunch tight end of the game. Vikings is definitely a top playbook right now. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the New Orleans Saints playbook, and you guys already know what formation we're going to talk about first. Gun doubles flex Y off close. Now, we were on this before everybody else. We did a Saints offense ebook months ago. Shout out Icy for finding this before everybody else. And this formation is just insanely powerful. It's just got the best one-play touchdowns in the game. All you have to do to bomb cover 3, cover 4 drop, literally just streak the tight end. You can block the running back if you want to. You can drag the outside guy if you want to. But this is one of the quickest one-play touchdowns against cover 3 and cover 4 drop in the game. You just, make sure you lead that pass up and over the top. Easy one-play touchdown. Gets open really quick. It's easier to bomb cover 3 and cover 4 in this formation than pretty much any other formation, in my opinion. So this formation already was good, and then it just got 3 new plays. motion slot post, motion halfback fade, motion halfback slot screen. And now it's just like, okay, this was already powerful. They just made it even more powerful. And of course, there's so much you could do. Probably do a whole ebook just out of this play alone. But I showed on Twitter yesterday that, obviously just stock. Now we have a fade route that's going to get wide open against a cover 2 shell. Just freeform this pass, lead it outside, and now you just got a touchdown. But we've got crossers going to both sides of the field. Now we could just do, we don't even need to use the running back motion if we don't want to. We can just streak our solo receiver, and now we just have a streak and crosser, and a cross that's going to get open really quick over there. We can block our tight end if we need extra blocking. I mean, it's just like, just super quick hitting routes all over the field. I'm possibly going to have to revisit gun doubles flex Y off close just because of how powerful it already was, and now it just got even more powerful. We can motion the running back out. Now we've got streak crosser going to both sidelines. Make the user pick one and throw to the other one. And they are lined up so far inside that they're going to cross the field and get open really, really quick. And so just so much you can do out of gun doubles flex Y off close. And of course, if you guys have messed around in our Saints ebook, motion dig under has the running back motion inverted zig. Motion dagger Y in has the running back motion normal zig. We've got cover 3 bombs, cover 4 bombs going both sides of the field. We've got so much stuff we can do in gun doubles flex Y off close. Also Y sail, just one of the best, most underrated plays in the game as well. But that's not all, guys, because what else did the Saints playbook get added to it? Gun Y off trips nasty. We already talked about how this is one of the best or most underrated formations in the game. Maybe it's not even underrated anymore, because RPO read Y flat, best RPO in the game. You've got the play dagger whip for that zig route. Again, the shallow post and PA double post. And they added new plays as well. I have not really messed around with these new plays a whole lot, but even if you don't even want to use any of these new motion plays, just having dagger whip, PA double post, RPO read Y flat, and double cross, RPO or Y off trips nasty, one of the best formations in the game, combined with gun doubles flex Y off close. It's just insane how much juice they have added to this Saints playbook that was already really, really good. Now, a little side note, bunch Y flex, guys, that bench pivot play right there is a 1 of 1. It's only in the Saints playbook, and this is one of my favorite plays to actually run, like in a short yardage situation. And what you can do is you can just motion this tight end over, flat route the solo receiver, and so now what you've got is you've got a zig on the right side, and then the running back will be a zig on the left side. And so if we go ahead and just let that play out, the running back zig is on the left side. We had the zig on the right side as well. And so you just got zigs on both sides of the field, and you can, of course, you can read that tight end route if you wanted to. We took the corner route, motioned him over, turned it into a post. But that's a cool 1 of 1 play. And then amazing running plays in pistol wing flex close as well. We talked about halfback zone weak. Well, once again, we have a halfback zone weak here in pistol wing flex close as well. Great handoff animation, great blocking. And so it's just like so many good things in the Saints playbook. Just talking about it is making me want to go back to the Saints playbook because there's just so much great stuff in this playbook. So those are the formations I would recommend. Oh, and don't forget, of course, our under center. We don't have a single back wing close, but we do have a single back wing, and the halfback stretch out of that is pretty good. So if you need to run the ball down near the goal line, you do have that halfback stretch as well. But between this, the pistol wing flex close, the gun Y off trips nasty, and the gun doubles flex Y off close, and of course, a fun gun double stack to mix in there as well. There's so much offensive firepower in this Saints playbook. I think it's one of the best in the game right now. I think it was already really awesome before they added in these extra plays. And then you add in these 3 new motion plays to gun double flex Y off close. And now with the Saints, you are going to be absolutely cooking. But coming in at number 1, guys, there's no other playbook that it could be. The best playbook in Madden 25 after the title update is still the Detroit Lions. And that's because it has 2 of the best formations in the entire game, Gun Trips Tight End Flex and Gun Bunch X Nasty. And both of these formations are what's going to be covered in our upcoming Detroit Lions offense ebook coming out on January 15th. And the reason that these formations are so powerful is that they have 2 of the best money plays in the entire game. I guarantee that if you've watched any pros play this year, you have seen the play motion Y post in the formation Gun Trips Tight End Flex. And honestly, you don't even need to make any adjustments. There's obviously adjustments we can make out of it. But some people, they'll just run this completely stock. And if the wheel route is covered, they'll just go ahead and read the zig, they'll read the tight end. And it's just a nightmare for the user to guard because you got 2 routes coming over the middle going in completely opposite directions. You can just put the inside trips receiver on a drag or a slant and just hit them as they cross over the middle. There's so many things that you can do in Gun Trips Tight End Flex. You can even just run the classics in Gun Trips Tight End. You could just run verticals. And if your opponent's in cover 3, then the seam is just wide open. If we can hold on to the ball, that's okay. But there's so many things that you can do in Gun Trips Tight End Flex. It's so insanely powerful. Of course, we also have Gun Bunch X Nasty and the other most popular money play of the year, Motion Cross Post. And this one is just another one that is just absurdly powerful. Everyone knows, I mean, I'll do a rep against cover 2 just so we can see it, but everyone can tell already against cover 2, this is just, this is not going to go well for the defense. Just streak the solo receiver. You can block the running back if you want to. But on the outside over there, that is a 1-play touchdown to the wheel route. But it doesn't matter what coverage your opponent is in. Obviously, if it's man coverage, the wheel route will torch it. If they're in like a cover 3, then we're basically flooding that left sideline with our drag plus our kind of post coming late from the tight end. And so you've got stuff all over the field that you can throw. Motion cross post in Gun Bunch X Nasty, super powerful. And then like I said, it's the same thing with Trips Tight End Flex. There's just so many great plays that you have throughout this formation as well that there's just not enough time to talk about all of them. But those 2 formations alone, Gun Trips Tight End Flex, Gun Bunch X Nasty, they were not touched in the title update, but they're just so good that this is still the best playbook in the game even after the update. Now, the one thing they did add to the Lions playbook that I'm really happy about is they did add a single back Bunch X Nasty with a wide zone weak. Because I wasn't a huge fan of some of the under center run plays that we had in the Lions playbook, but now we've got wide zone weak, and so we can flip the run based on whichever side we have the numbers advantage. And now we've got just like a much more reliable under center run play than we had before. But the Lions playbook, guys, Gun Trips Tight End Flex and Gun Bunch X Nasty are just, there's a reason that you've seen the pros running them all year because they're incredibly powerful. And so as fun as it is to look at all the new things they added, especially Gun Bunch Spread Nasty, which I do think is going to continue to be really popular, at the same time, I'm not entirely sure that the entire meta will be redefined. You're still going to see a lot of Gun Trips Tight End Flex because motion Y post and everything else that you can do in these formations are insanely powerful and incredibly difficult for the defense to stop. And so the Lions playbook comes in at number 1, and those are the top 5 playbooks: Chiefs, Bucks, Vikings, Saints, and Lions. And don't forget, guys, if you want all of our ebooks and all of our advanced film room tips that get updated every single week, definitely head over to playbookprofessor.gg. It's just $14.99 per month, and your subscription unlocks all the Madden 25 content that we've put out all year. So if you're trying to take your game to the next level, definitely head over to playbookprofessor.gg. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.